can't see you. Boomer! Where are you? Here I am. Boomer, I can't see you. Your dream's power is over, Boomer. You didn't realize his blood type is the same as Kettering, but not the same as Igor's. He will not feed the sensory nerve. Boomer! You played me a trick! What good is a brain without eyes to see? What good is a brain without eyes to see? Hi, this is Trepacer, and this is going to be a new segment on my channel called Trepacer's Ramblings, where basically I talk about various subjects, mostly movie-related and stuff, maybe other things. Okay, wrote it down. Memory's not as good as it used to be, but I wrote things down. I'm just going to talk about just a mix of different things. I figured it's better to talk about it in one video rather than attach it to any other video I do. So basically, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new Justice League movie, which is coming out in 2015, I believe. Around the same time the second Avengers movie is going to come out. And Warner Brothers is doing this different than, of course, Marvel, the way they did their movies. You know, they did it with the individual movies and then put them all together in Avengers. This time they're going to do the Justice League movie, and then I think from out those movies do individual movies. And this has this potential to be either disastrous or very good. Okay, and hopefully I'm hoping it's going to be good, and hopefully they'll pick the right. You know, I think the guy who's supposed to be writing it is Will Beal, that's his name, who actually wrote Gangster Squad, which I saw yesterday, which to me was the script was sort of weak for that, and I didn't really like it. I mean, it had good actors in the movie, but I think the script-wise, the story was very weak. But hopefully, maybe they'll get him to write the script and hopefully have somebody help him with it, so it'll be better. And okay, and Justice League, you know, because that was an ensemble movie in a way. Well, it is. It was different characters, and Justice League is going to be that. And hopefully, maybe with input from other people, it'll come together. But my main point of this, of bringing this up, is I have the perfect person to be Wonder Woman. Okay, the other cast, you know, Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, I'm not going to talk about them. I'm specifically going to talk about Wonder Woman. Okay, about who I think would be the perfect Wonder Woman. Now, I didn't think about this twice. Went and saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Okay, and the lead actress in that, her name is, of course, Alexandra Daddario, and this is what she looks like. Now, she, of course, is absolutely, you know, absolutely beautiful and the most amazing eyes, and she's 5'8", okay, and I think she's like 26 or something, but I think she's the perfect age. She's the perfect height, 5'8", and she's absolutely gorgeous, and she can act, okay, and I think she would be perfect as Wonder Woman, okay. I think, like I said, she has the right height. She's 5'8". She's not short, and you know, with boots, you probably can be 6 feet if you want. And like I said, she's supposed to be an Amazon. And he's supposed to believe, you know, that she can basically kick ass, and I think she can give off that vibe. So I think, you know, she would be perfect. And here's another picture of her, just so you get my point. Okay, so that's my choice for one. And maybe in later videos I'll do the casting for the other characters. But I just saw her, and I saw somebody mention this when I was looking at reviews of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and somebody brought it up that she would be the perfect Wonder Woman. And you know what? She is, because she looks like she could be the daughter or granddaughter of Linda Carter. Another one with amazing smile and gorgeous eyes, and she's tall and she can act. So I think she would be perfect for Wonder Woman. So that's just my 2 cents in that. Okay, so on to the next segment. The next thing I want to talk about is a TV show that's coming to an end. Actually, next Friday on the 18th of January, it's going to be a 2-hour season finale of a great show, one of my favorite show currently right now on TV, which is called Fringe. Okay, starring Joshua Jackson, John Noble, and Anna Turv. What's her name? That's the way you pronounce her name. Fringe, it's been on for, this is the 5th season, the last season. It's going to only last 13 episodes. It's basically a show about Walter and Peter Bishop, their father and son, and they also work with an FBI agent, played Olivia Dunham, played by Anna Turv, and it's just a great show about fringe. The reason it's called Fringe is about fringe science, and Walter Bishop, played by John Noble, was a scientist back at Harvard. Him and a colleague, they basically did all these experiments, in fringe science, doing all these, they experimented on kids, did all kind of wacky experiments and stuff. And basically this story takes place like years later with Walter and Peter Bishop and Anna Turv, who plays Olivia Dunham. They investigate all these fringe cases. They work with the FBI on these fringe cases. Now, this is the 5th and last season. Like I said, it's only going to have 13 episodes on it because Fox. It never got great ratings, but it was just a great show in my opinion. Like I said, I have all 4 seasons. I have 3 on DVD and 1 on Blu-ray, the 4th season, and this season is the 5th season. Now, I haven't been keeping up as much as I want to on this season, although because it's been, it's only 13 episodes, so they kind of stretched it out. They had their little breaks in between, but the season finale is next Friday, so I'm going to watch that and tape it, even if I have to, and come back and watch it, because it's one of the great shows, just a great show. Basically, like I said, the show's about fringe science, but it's also mostly about the relationship between these characters, especially between Walter and Peter Bishop. They're the heart of the show, basically. They're really the heart of the show, and John Noble and Joshua Jackson are just great as a father and son team, and Anna Turv as Olivia Dunham is great. This is probably one of my just absolutely favorite shows of all time, and I'm going to be sad to see it go. Like I said, this season, it only got 13 episodes because Fox wouldn't commit to more than that. But I'm happy at least, they got 13 episodes and they got to end it. They know, the producers knew and that, they're only getting 13 episodes, so they're going to end it. And this season was just basically about setting the feature and about the observers, characters on the show, for those who know about the show. Okay, and basically you're getting a 2-hour finale, and hopefully all the questions will be answered, and hopefully we'll wrap up in a nice, neat way. And like I said, I love this show, and hopefully people will check this show out and check out the finale and maybe go back and check out the previous season. And this was one of the most intelligently written shows and acted that came along in a long time, and I'm going to be sad to see it go. So goodbye, Fringe. I really enjoyed you, so take care. The next thing I want to talk about is the Oscar nominations, which was announced Thursday, I believe, or maybe Friday, doesn't matter. Now, I've seen most of the movies. Okay, a few that I haven't seen, like Argo, I haven't seen, and I haven't seen Zero Dark 30, which I'm going to see tomorrow. Okay, and I haven't seen Lincoln, and strangely, I have no desire to see Lincoln either. It doesn't, maybe it's because I know the story and seen so many different versions of it. It doesn't interest me for some reason, even though it has a great director, Steven Spielberg, and a great actor, Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay, now Best Picture. I'm going to tell you what I think should win and what's going to win, I think. Okay, put it that way. I think I want Django Unchained to win. That would be nice. Or maybe Silver Linings Playbook, but I think what might win is Lincoln. It'll probably be Lincoln, or maybe Argo. I haven't seen Argo, although I don't want to see that. So what I think might win is Argo or either Lincoln, but what I would want to win is either Silver Linings Playbook or Django Unchained. Now, as far as Best Director is concerned, I think Spielberg is going to win. Okay, what I would hope would win would be either, it would be David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook, and it's a shame that they didn't nominate Quentin Tarantino for directing Django Unchained. He nominated for Best Picture. Why not the director? That makes better sense. Okay, but that's the Academy for you. Now, Best Actor is Bradley Cooper for Silver Linings Playbook. He was great in that. And Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln. I haven't seen that, but everybody else says he's been great in that. Hugh Jackman in Les Mis, which I saw, and he was fantastic. Okay, and Joaquin Phoenix in The Master, which I haven't seen. And Denzel Washington in Flight, which I did see, and he was great in that. What I think is going to win, I think Daniel Day-Lewis may win. Again, maybe win his 3rd Oscar, but who I hope to win would be Hugh Jackman for Les Mis. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, in that movie, very emotional, very strong performance, and that's who I would hope would win, Hugh Jackman. Okay, now Best Supporting Actor, Alan Arkin in Argo, which I didn't see. Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook, he was okay in that, and Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master, which I didn't see. Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln, which I didn't see, and Christopher Waltz in Django Unchained. who I would hope would win would be Christopher Waltz in Django Unchained. He held that first part of that movie together perfectly, and Christopher Waltz was hilarious and great all at the same time. Who I think might win is Tommy Lee Jones. Like I said, Lincoln's got a lot of buzz, so I think Tommy Lee Jones may win. Although Christopher Waltz, if he wins his second Best Supporting Actor Oscar, I would be great for me because I think he deserves it. Okay, Best Actress is Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30, which I haven't seen. I'm going to see tomorrow. Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook, which I saw, and she gave a great performance. Emmanuel River in Amour, which I haven't seen. Kwanzi Wallace, who's in Beasts of the Southern Wild, which I haven't seen, so I have no opinion about that. Naomi Watts in The Impossible, which just came out recently, and I haven't seen that. So who I think is going to win is probably Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30. That's getting a lot of good buzz, and I'm going to see it tomorrow, and I'll do a review and let you know if I think she's worthy of she's a good being best actress, and she's a good actress anyway. Jennifer Lawrence is who I want to win. Okay, because I thought she was great in Silver Linings Playbook, but she's young, and the Academy sometimes don't want to give young people their due. But hopefully, you never know, maybe she might win. But Jessica Chastain, I think, probably is going to win. There's a lot of buzz on her. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams in The Master, which I didn't see. Sally Field in Lincoln, which I didn't see, and there's been a lot of buzz on her. Of course, she already has an Oscar. Anne Hathaway in La Mis, who's getting a lot of buzz, and she was great in La Mis, which I saw. And Helen Hunt in the Sessions, which they said there's a lot of buzz on her. I think she was the early favorite. Helen Hunt, and then Jackie Weaver in Silver Linings Playbook. Okay, let me just say, I think Anne Hathaway is going to win. There's a lot of buzz on her. Who I think is going to win? Anne Hathaway. I'm going to go with Anne Hathaway. I think she gave such a great, strong performance in every time. There's a lot of buzz on her, and I think she's going to win Best Supporting Actress. Now, Best Animated Feature, you got Brave, which I saw, which is okay. Frankenweenie, which I have, but I haven't watched it yet. Paranormal, which I saw, which I absolutely loved, especially the last 15 minutes of that movie. It's just super intense. And Paranormal, wait a minute. And Wreck-It Ralph, which I think is going to probably win. I haven't seen that, but there's a lot of good buzz on Wreck-It Ralph. And it's getting ready to come on video, I think, in another month or so. So I'll see that. So I'm going to go with Wreck-It Ralph for Best Animated Feature. So that's my picks in terms of Oscars talk. It's my Oscar talk. I just want to put a little addendum to my Best Actress movie choices. I think I said before that I want Jennifer Lawrence to win, but I think Jessica Chastain is going to win. I saw Zero Dark 30 this morning, and it was really good. And I still want Jennifer Lawrence to win, but Jessica Chastain may win. She was really good in Zero Dark 30. Okay, that was a real good part for her, and she's a good actress, so she may win. And the Academy may feel that, just Jennifer Lawrence, she's young and she has more opportunities somewhere down the line. So I think Jessica Chastain, out of all the actresses, she might win for Best Actress, which won't be too bad because she is a good actress. And like I said, the Academy probably feels Jennifer Lawrence has more chances, coming down the line because she's only 22, I think, 22 or 23. Okay, so that's just my little addendum to that. In this segment, I want to talk about a great fellow YouTuber. This will be something I talk about YouTubers that I discovered recently and who I think definitely deserve more subs and just fantastic individuals. His name is DVD Collector 1974. He has the most amazing he has a collection room basically with all his collections, and he has it all sectioned off in individual sections and stuff. It's the most amazing collection that I've seen here on YouTube. The way he has everything organized and everything, and what I most love about his channel is he does these different segments on his channel. He does like most a year in a collection, like he'll go with 1975. He'll do all the movies that came out in 1975. He does Tim Burton reviews. He does random reviews. He does TV Shelf 1, TV Shelf 2, top 20 cartoon shows he did recently with him and his daughter. They did their own individuals top 20 shows, favorite cartoon shows. He did top action movies. Just a great fellow YouTuber. And he's gonna start actually a horror channel, and he asked me to be a part of that, which I'm looking forward to. and he's just a great guy. He owns his own comic book store, and he's just just an all-around great guy. And his videos are just so informative and amazing that he deserves more subs. And again, his name is DVD Collector 1974. Definitely check him out. Okay, he's a great guy and definitely deserves more subs. Okay, and he makes great informative videos. Okay, so give him a listen. And this is my, I guess, guilty pleasure or unsung pick of the week. Well, it'll be Josie and the Pussycats. This is the version with Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson. I believe Alan Cummings is in this, and Parker Posey. What I love about this, besides the kick-ass movie from Letters for Cleo, they're their actual real band that play the music for the actors who play the Pussycats. Okay, the soundtrack to this movie is absolutely killer. I love the songs from this movie. Three Small Words. What's the other song? Pretend to Be Nice. Okay, and the fake band that's in this movie. There's a fake band besides the Pussycats in this movie called De Jour, which I believe is made up of Seth Green, Breck and Mine, their boy band, and Down Faison, and then another guy, and they're hilarious. And it's basically a story about a small town band, Josie and the Pussycats. They get their big break when the band De Jour, made up of those four guys I just mentioned, their plane crashes. Okay, so Alan Cummings plays this record executive who signs them. Okay, and of course they shoot to superstardom. Of course, but of course there's a nefarious plan behind the scenes. Parker Posey pays the record executive, the executive in charge of the record label, and she has a plan to control the minds of kids to make them buy stuff, by listening to, by putting subliminal message in the music. And it's a really funny comedy, but the music is the thing in this movie. It's so kick-ass, and that's why I absolutely love this movie. Okay, and I love the chemistry between the three lead actresses, Rachel Lee Cook and Rosario Dawson and Tara Reid. They're absolutely hilarious in this movie. And I love that band. Like I said, the fake band here, De Jour. They have two videos of them, I think, in the movie, singing a Backdoor Lover, which is a hilarious song that you have to see the video. I mean, if you go on YouTube and look it up, you can see it and you'll crack up lying. Backdoor Lover. Look it up. See Backdoor Lover, type it in, and type De Jour. Okay? And trust me, the song is great and it's hilarious to watch the video. Okay? And plus, like I said, the Letters from Cleo, the kick-ass versions of, Spin Around, Pretend to Be Nice, and Three Small Words, the Pussycats sing. Great. I love this movie. I absolutely love this, the soundtracks for this. This definitely is an unsung pick. People don't talk about this movie enough, but this movie, I absolutely love it. Okay, so Josie and the Pussycats, definitely get that if you can. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video is I want to start beefing up my TV collection. Basically, like I said, I saw a DVD collector in 1974. His absolutely great collection of TV. He has TV shows. He has different shows of all these TV shows, and it made me want to, because I concentrate mostly on movies and stuff, and occasionally I'll get a TV show, but I want to concentrate on getting more TV shows because I grew up, in an era where there was fantastic TV shows that I absolutely loved as a kid growing up, and I used to basically tape everything off. I have video tapes here and over there, and I used to tape everything off TV and stuff. But now that they're releasing everything on video, DVD, and Blu-ray, I want to start collecting more TV series. And some of the TV series I want to collect are, of course, The Addams Family. I love that show growing up. Absolutely loved it. Calvin Jones, I thought was absolutely gorgeous as Morticia Addams. And I Dream of Jeannie, of course, with Barbara Eden. What more can you say? Just Barbara Eden. Okay, and Get Smart. Missed it by that much. I love that Don Adams. That was just a fantastic, funny, hilarious show. And of course, The Monsters. Okay, that's one of my absolute favorite ones. I used to watch that religiously when they showed that on, growing up. It was just a great show about, about monsters. Monsters is modern day family, with just, trying to act normal, of course, but they're monsters. Okay, and of course, one of my all-time favorite shows, which of course is 24, just ended recently. Ended I think like 2 seasons ago. 24. I absolutely love that show. I think I have mostly every episode on tape. I just used to tape it all the time. 24, and I think it lasted 10 seasons, and I absolutely loved that. And I always said, I used to, me and my friend that I work with my job, we used to always talk about it all, every Tuesday when we come in after, saying, "Did you see 24? Did you see 24?" And I always said to him, if I have a kid one day, I'm going to name my kid Jack Bauer Woodley. Okay, if I have a kid, that's what's going to be his name, Jack Bauer, because Jack Bauer was so kick-ass. That's the name my kid's going to have, Jack Bauer Woodley. Okay, his name's going to be Jack Bauer. Okay, it just is. Okay, so anyway, but last but not least, one of my all-time favorite shows was The $6 Million Man. I absolutely loved this show growing up. I was, I remember watching it when it came on every week. They had great episodes. Steve Austin, and that great awesome theme song it had, first of all, and then of course Steve Austin, he'd fight Bigfoot, he'd fight spies. He had the bionic eye, bionic arm, and 2 bionic legs, and he's just the ultimate cool guy. I love Lee Majors' $6 Million Man. He was absolutely fantastic. That's one of my all-time favorite shows, and I want to get the whole collection. I see the individual. I go to Best Buy and I see the individual. They have like the first 2 seasons. The Best Buy that's closest to me, but I want to get the whole collection. I believe it lasted 6 seasons. I want to get the whole collection, so I'm looking on eBay and Amazon. So I can bid on it and get the whole series run of that, because I absolutely loved The $6 Million Man. That was my ultimate favorite show. I remember as little kids, we used to do that. How you pretend to run like The $6 Million Man, and make the sound and do the fake jumping and run in slow motion, and I absolutely loved that show. That was a fantastic show. So that's gonna put an end to my rambling, Trepacer's rambling. So let me know what you think of the subjects I covered in this video. Free for you to leave your comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.